Hey Wellness Warrior, today we're talking about snacks on a plane. Yes, we're talking about how to travel healthy, eat nutritious foods, and don't blow everything you've worked so hard to attain out of the water because you're forced to eat crappy airplane food, crappy airport food, or even crappy food wherever your final destination takes you. So I'm gonna walk you through a few of my hacks, the things that I travel with, and help you prepare for those. Don't forget to grab my guide over at lowertoxiclife.com. My recipes are included here. You'll find most of these on my blog at recipes.lowertoxiclife.com. All right, so first thing, I love this. This is from Amazon. I'll leave the link in the show notes. This lunch bag freezes. So your cold pack is actually built into it. Inside it freezes. So I always travel with this. And then the beautiful thing is, when you get to where you're going or you finish up, it folds up to almost nothing and goes in your suitcase, or you can freeze it again. I usually, depending on where I'm going, I try to always stay somewhere that has a little mini fridge or a freezer or something, but it helps a lot. So I use this almost every time I travel. All right, so a couple of things. One, I shared my seed recipe with you before, and you can go to seeds.lowertoxiclife.com. I love these little silicone containers. They snap down into almost nothing, as you'll see here. So they travel quite well. And I always start out with a set of frozen seeds. So these are all my seeds ground up, nuts, coconut flakes, coconut water, and then I toss it in the freezer. And then the morning that I leave, I bring this out, and this works as a fabulous cold pack. In about 4 hours, it's completely defrosted and it's perfect for me to eat. Now, I also travel then with my, not always, but depending on how accessible food's gonna be, I often travel with frozen blueberries. These are my little silicone travel packs. Okay, these are little silicone travel packs. Again, you can pack a lot of stuff in these, and then when you're done, boom, they break down into nothing and they don't take up space coming home. So I definitely use those, and then I've mentioned the silicone bowls, and then I also use glass. This is a glass jar that has actually my almond flaxseed crackers in it. I travel with crackers in a little glass container. I'll ditch this when I'm finished and get where I'm going, but I travel with my crackers in glass so they don't crumble and break. This works amazing. All right, so I mentioned my seeds. I have my blueberry, I have my one seed pack, I have my blueberries, I have nuts in here for making them the 5 days that I'm going to be gone on this trip. And then I also have these little silicone containers. I like to use my organic coconut cream. This is the one I get at Trader Joe's. I will put this into 3 of these containers and I will freeze them. Coconut freezes beautifully. You won't know the difference. Then these also work as a cold pack. They're frozen. They get through TSA beautifully. And then I have all the coconut cream that I need because I only will use half of this in my bulletproof coffee, which I will get to. And then I always freeze one extra one with coconut water. And then I purchase coconut water when I get wherever I'm going. I find this much easier to buy, even at a convenience store. You can find this in cans. I prefer it not in cans, but you know, it's better than nothing. All right, so I travel with that. That's my seeds. Now I actually, in this little container, I put honey. It's labeled there, honey. This is the honey because I always have local honey. I eat about a tablespoon of local honey a day, actually about a half a tablespoon of local honey a day, and it alleviates my allergies. I don't have allergies anymore during seasonal allergy time. All right, then the next thing, I always have my bulletproof coffee, so I travel with my Yeti. Inside my Yeti, that's where I will have one set of the coconut water and the coconut milk mix, and then I have all of my cacao powder and all of my coffee, and I actually am using instant coffee this time, an organic instant coffee. It's all in here, so all I have to do when I get on the airplane is I simply ask for this to be filled with hot water, and then I let it sit in there, and then I stir it up really good, and I'll show you my little whisk. Having a hard time, but this does, as you saw, fit right into this. So I just throw this into my carry-on to get through security, no liquid. And then I have my little whisk that I travel with that absolutely you can use to stir up anything. And so I use this whisk to blend up all of the coffee and the cacao powder, the collagen, all the things that go in my bulletproof coffee. And again, that recipe is on my blog. I call it Fat Blaster Brain Booster Coffee. All right, so that's my bulletproof. Now, the other thing that I do is I make up bulletproof packs. This contains 5 days worth of bulletproof packs in it. My Kerrygold butter is already in here because I don't refrigerate my butter. That's a whole nother discussion, but it's already in here. And then I travel with this fun little bag that has all of my little condiments. And inside of that, I always have loose tea, a little bit of coffee, and then I have my MCT oil in a dropper that I can, this is a B12 vitamin dropper. I have that in there so that I can just squeeze in my MCT oil each day into my bullet coffee. All right, so that's those things. And then I mentioned, I do the same with seed packs. This time I didn't individualize them, but I will measure out 4 tablespoons each day. These are my ground chia seeds, hemp seeds, sesame seeds, and sunflower seeds, because today as I'm filming this is the full moon, and that's the phase that I'm in with my seed cycling, seeds.lowertoxiclife.com. All right, so that is that. Now, I also always travel with 2 avocados, unripened typically, because they'll ripen along the way. And then I have this is it's a KitchenAid, but it's a plastic container. I'm not a huge fan of plastic, but when I travel, this is what I can mix my bulletproof in. So I can take the avocados out. This is to keep them from getting mushy. While I'm on the plane, if I need extra room, then I can just pour my coconut cream, my coffee, all of that, kind of mix it up. Although most often on the airplane, I'm able to do that with my Yeti and then the couple little cups that they give me either with hot water or coffee, and I'm able to blend it up. And I always travel with one of these with about 4 to 5 ice cubes in it so that I'm good to go. But you can get ice on the airplane, obviously, too. I drink my bulletproof coffee iced. You may prefer yours warm. It's your choice. Okay, and then I always also travel with some organic pasture-raised chicken that it has been baked and sliced up small, and I freeze this. This stays in my freezer. Again, I throw this then in my lunch bag that's already cold. This is frozen. This also works as a cold pack, and then it's ready to go for a couple of days. And again, I always try to stay either this particular trip, we're staying with my sister and brother-in-law, sister-in-law and brother-in-law, so we will have full access to everything. But I always try to get at least a mini fridge so I can keep things cool. And don't be afraid to ask for extra ice on the airplane. I have found everybody to be so accommodating. So I've never had any problems with food spoiling. Now, this is another little bag. This is from 31 bags that I actually won as a door prize, but it's an insulated bag. And this is what I will put this frozen thing of my seeds. I will pop that in there along with anything else that I'm going to be consuming on the plane or throughout the day, because I want this to defrost, because about 4 hours into my trip is when I will eat the seeds, and then I'll put other things in it as well, which I will show. Now, I love to travel with artichoke hearts, and I almost always carry my bags on, so I have to make sure that these are, I can't just go through with these. So I will open this up, drain it, and then I will mix in artichoke hearts and my olives for quick, healthy fats, healthy fiber, and items that satiate me along the way. I will literally drain those, and then I will put them in one of my silicone bags, squeeze out all the air, and then again, it's just, I rinse it out and then I bring it back home, and these are reusable. All right, I mentioned my crackers. I often will travel with a lemon and a lime just thrown in my bag, because you never know. And if you have crappy tasting water or certain things, it's nice to be able to add that in. I also always travel with my own stainless steel water bottle, which I ice cubes in and freeze ahead of time. No water, but I put the ice cubes in. Never have a problem getting this through TSA. When I get inside the terminal, I will use here in the US anyway, the filter, and I've experienced it in Paris also. I will use the filtered water, fill it up, and then I always travel with my Redmond's electrolyte little crystals. This is just a little jelly jar that I saved from a breakfast, and this is great because it's glass, and this holds about 5 to 6 days worth of my electrolytes for the trip. All right, what else am I missing? Oh, and then some bonus things. I often will travel with a couple of scoops of protein powder. I'm not huge on protein powders and smoothies. That's just me personally. It's not my preference, but I almost always travel with a few scoops of it because in a pinch, to me, it still beats crappy food on the airplane or at the airport. And I can literally mix it with water, or I can mix it with my coconut cream and coconut water and have a fantastic satiating piece of food. I also always travel with a couple of granola snacky bars kind. Not the best, not the worst. Decide the ones that work best for you. I also will use the albacore and light tuna. I like the Bumblebee brand in water. These little packets are great for on the airplane, wherever you go, and they don't have to be refrigerated, so it's kind of nice. Sometimes I will even pack lettuce in one of my little silicone bags and then a little thing of my own balsamic and olive oil, and I have made a salad many times. Slice up my avocado. You'd be amazed at what I do on an airplane to feed myself. And then you can also do things, there's so many cured meats now. Again, it's not my favorite, but if you are looking for something a little healthier than potato chips and, you know, ice cream and crap, you can travel with some of these just thrown in a bag that don't have to be refrigerated. And then I simply put all of my food into this little wad-up carry-on that I can either continue to use, or once I've consumed my food on the trip, I'm good to go. But I will put everything in this bag. I will send the entire food bag through TSA because quite often my ice and my seeds often get flagged. That bag almost always gets checked. I'm prepared for it. All my food is in one place so they don't have to dig through everything. And then I just go over and chat with them, and they're always super friendly. And so then I just go over and chat with them as they go through my bag. And so far, I can't think of anything that's ever gotten tagged. There is one thing. Oh, it was a yogurt. It was a small yogurt that I had picked up in a hotel, and I was going to just use the yogurt part of it and not the crappy fruit on the bottom. And it was slightly, I think it was 4 ounces or 5 ounces. That's the only thing I've ever had taken away. I never go through with liquids. They allow my ice to go through and all of that. So I just have a friendly chat with them, and then I'm on my way. My paleo muffins are another great snack that you can travel with quite easily. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I would love any hints or tips or anything that you have. What do you like to travel with? Has this inspired you at all? And what questions do you have for me? Again, lowertoxiclife.com. You'll get many of my recipes, and you'll get all those fabulous ways to reduce the toxins, live healthier, fuel your body more nutritiously, and truly live your best life.